Well, that didn't circle around. That's weird. I didn't know why. Hey, we're live. Let me just play this real quick.
Welcome to the BAM Sports Show.
I carefully place all of it in various trash cans around.
Any other headlines you guys are interested in tomorrow?
I'll poop in a urinal.
It's going to be a wet one.
He shoots, he scores, you suck.
Rick's wife is going to make him sleep in the bathroom tub tonight.
A dark horse candidate of where I may eventually want to end up living for good.
Welcome to a brand new sports show experience coming through your wavelengths. Let's get ready to have some fun. So sit back, crack open a drink, and let's talk some sports.
All right, there we go. Now we're rolling. A little bit of I don't know why that. Oh, it's because I didn't click a loop. Apparently you have to click that now. Hey, welcome to the BAM Sports Show. It's Ryan, here by myself once again. With myself. That means I get to talk about what I want to talk about. We'll talk about football. But first, let's talk some baseball. The division series are over. We had the let me just pull up our scores and our playoffs and all that. We've got the Rangers versus the Astros in the ALCS. I think it's a fantastic matchup. And we've got the Phillies, not the Braves, the Phillies versus the Diamondbacks, which is fantastic. If you're a baseball fan that likes good teams, this is a great championship series for us. Was hoping for the Twins to win. I was hoping for the Orioles to win. And I thought the Braves were going to pull it out, but the Phillies, man, that Phillies team seems like a team of destiny right now. We'll start with the ALCS. Astros and Rangers. That's going to be a pretty tough one to call. I like what the Rangers have done. They've looked really great in the postseason. And the Astros just have that pedigree. They know how to win. They've been winning. It's going to be a very good series. I think this one probably has the potential to go to 7 games. It's much less travel for these teams versus the Phillies and Diamondbacks having to go cross country for the series. These guys are just going cross state. Texas is a big state, but as much as Texans don't want to admit it, Texas is not America. It's just a state. It's just there at the bottom. I think offensively right now, I like what the Rangers have been doing. The rotation is looking pretty good, too. You got Scherzer, says he's feeling healthy, probably coming back. It's hard to bet against the Astros in the playoffs. It sucks. I hate the Astros. Trash can bangers. But I don't know. It'll be a fun one to watch. I think I'm probably going to end up picking on this ALCS. I'm going to go Rangers. I just have a gut feeling that we're going to have a really good World Series. Rangers and then the other team. I like the Diamondbacks. I do. I think they had a great season, but they were also only, what were they? I think they were 84 wins. 84 and 78 with a negative 15 run differential going up against the Phillies, who had a plus 81 run differential, 90 and 72. The talent gap there, pretty wide. I think the surprising thing about these playoffs. I'll get to that actually in a second. Let's talk NLCS. NLCS, I'll just lay it right out there for you. The Phillies beat the best team in baseball, and it didn't look close. The Braves did not, even though they were World Series champion last year, they did not look ready for this Phillies team. This Phillies team is playing loose. This Phillies team is playing aggressive. Nick Castellanos is apparently a superhuman. And I just don't think that the Diamondbacks really have a shot here. They're a young team. I think they've got a lot of potential in the future. They did just beat the 100-win Dodgers, but the 100-win Dodgers also threw Clayton Kershaw out there twice or once, which is an easy loss, for the Dodgers. Playoff Kershaw's not one you want. I'm going Phillies all the way here, and I'll spoil it. I'm going Phillies to win the World Series. I think this is their year. They looked good last year. They got a taste last year. You've got, Schwarber won a World Series with the Cubs. Magical, his comeback in the playoffs. Harper has won a World Series. And Castellanos is playing out of his mind. The pitching's holding up really well. Pitching for the Phillies, honestly, was better than the Braves, which has a fantastic rotation. I think that ultimately we see Texas Rangers and the Phillies in the World Series, and I think the Phillies win it in 5 games, which is, I think that's a pretty solid prediction. The craziest thing right now is out of the 4 teams, one team out of those 4 teams was a division winner, the Houston Astros. And they are only a division winner because they had the tiebreaker against the Rangers. They're both 90 and 72. The Rangers actually had a better run differential by way of them scoring more runs. They gave up a few more, but they scored a lot more, 165 to 129 run differential. The Phillies, again, 90 and 72. So 3 of the championship series teams are 90 and 72. The other teams that made the playoffs, Baltimore, 101 wins. Fantastic story. I think that they are right there in the mix next year. I think that they expand that, and they need to expand that payroll. And something's going on upstairs. They need to expand that payroll and get some more talent in there, just a little bit, some pedigree. And I think that they end up. I think they might be favorites for me next year out of the AL. The Twins, they're 87 and 75, a little bit better than the Diamondbacks. The AL overall, the AL Central overall, AL Central and NL Central fairly weak this year. Surprisingly, the Brewers were 92 wins and my Cubbies were 83 wins. So, and the Reds. So we had 3 teams finish over 500. But you've got the Braves, 104 wins, gone. See ya. The Dodgers, 100 wins, gone. See ya. And the craziest part about that is those were the 2 top teams in run scoring, or just run differential. You had the Dodgers with a plus 207 and the Braves with a plus 231. The Braves this season almost scored 1,000 runs, which is insane. 947 runs scored. The Braves are also they were so unique. You had the crazy season from Acuna. They were 52 and 29 at home and 52 and 29 on the road. You never see that. It's crazy. And then the Diamondbacks. Let's talk about the Diamondbacks. 84-78. I think that just like the Orioles, I think they're a year behind the Orioles, and they've got a lot of young talent. They just need to open up that piggy bank and actually spend and bolster that roster. I haven't really looked towards the off season just yet. I've kind of just been enjoying the playoffs. I know that there's a lot of talent out there. I know there's a lot of foreign talent coming. At least 3 or 4 players from Japan, Korea area coming over, being posted. Very excited about a couple of those guys. We'll talk about playoff or postseason stuff. I'm sure I'll be doing another show by myself at some point, and we'll talk about that when we get to there. Let me see something here. I think I can just have like music playing in the background. Wait, my headphone shutting off. Diamondbacks, negative 15 run differential. Very surprising that they were able to beat the Dodgers. I think a lot of people penciled the Dodgers in as just an automatic World Series team. Same with the Braves, or at least automatic NLCS teams. And yeah, I like what the Diamondbacks did this year. I don't think they have enough to beat the Phillies. I think again, ultimately ends up Phillies and Rangers. I think it's going to be a fantastic series. I think Phillies win in 5, but I can definitely see it going 7. I could see the ALCS going 7 games. If the ALCS goes 7 games and the Rangers win it, I see the World Series going 5 games to the Phillies. I think the Phillies are going to sweep the Diamondbacks. I have a good feeling about the Phillies. I've had a good feeling about the Phillies for a while. I think they're a great team. If you're watching, let me know if this audio is just a little too much. There we go. I'll turn it down a little bit. That's lo-fi. Let's see what night driving sounds like. Ooh, I like that. More into that. That sounds good. Well, anyways, we'll talk more about the World Series. They don't let me talk too much baseball on here unless I'm on here by myself. We've devolved into more of a football show, but baseball. It's a gentleman's game. It's gonna be fun. Good. It's been good playoff baseball. I've enjoyed listening to it on the radio more than watching it on TV. But that's kind of how I always am. But that being said, let's talk sports. Let's talk football. We were talking sports. Baseball's a sport. Let's talk football. I have our records. Keith last week 9-2 in his picks. I was 7-4. Blake and Danny both 7-4, and Rick was 6-5. We're keeping score now, apparently. This week, Danny and Rick are going to both take fat zeros because they never got me their picks. Just go through, let me pull up my NFL stuff. It's hard to do it all on your own sometimes when you're trying to pull it all up. Week 5, my Bears, we talked about it already. They're back, baby. 40-20 over the Commanders in the Thursday night game. Just recap. Jags over Bills. This was a crazy game. I think a lot of us called Bills. Rick and I both said we can see the Jags winning it, and the Jags won it 25-20. They look good. Jags and Bills both 3-2, played over in London. The Jaguars definitely had the advantage there, which I didn't actually think about until after we had recorded. They didn't have to travel. They were there already. So yeah, it was a good game. Ridley finally came back out, 122 yards. Etienne, 136 yards on 26 carries and 2 touchdowns. I think the Jaguars are looking to build on this momentum. It's a very good, fun team to watch. Moving on, Falcons over the Texans, 21-19. Last second field goal is what it took for the Falcons to beat them. It's that Texans team looks good. It really does. Obviously they're running a rookie quarterback out there, but I think D'Amico Ryans has this team playing, and I think they're going to be a tough all season unless Stroud starts hitting his rookie speed bumps and all that. But Ritter 329 yards surprisingly, and Lions over the Panthers. We all thought that was going to be that. It's 42-24. It was a bloodbath. I think Rick actually said Lions over the Panthers in a bloodbath. Not much to talk about. Bryce Young, 247 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Panthers actually scored 24 points, though. 14 of which were garbage time, but the Lions also scored 14 in that fourth as well. Monty, 19 carries, 109 yards, 1 touchdown. He looks as good as ever. I love David Montgomery. So good. And then Adam Thielen, 107 yards on 11 receptions and a touchdown. Colts over the Titans, 23-16. I think I picked the Titans to win that one, and that was stupid. I think the Titans look like garbage. The big story with Jonathan Taylor coming back. What's going to happen with Zach Moss? Zach Moss has had a pretty good season. 23 carries, 165 yards, 2 touchdowns for Zach Moss. Not much on the running department for Jonathan Taylor, but I assume that that's going to even out over time. It's his first game back in a while. Dolphins over the Giants, 31-16. We all kind of called that. Devin Shane? I don't know how to say that. Injured. Had a great game, though. 151 yards and a touchdown. Tyreek, 181 yards and a touchdown. 8 receptions. It's crazy. Tua tried giving it away. Threw a couple of picks, but, that's what you get with Tua. Saints over the Patriots. Wasn't even close. This was the blowout of the week. 34-0 over the Patriots. 1-4 Patriots, who I think now are looking towards. I don't think they're going to be in the running for Caleb Williams. I think they're probably hoping Shedeur Sanders comes out. I think their best bet is probably going to be trying to trade up and get Drake May. I think that May probably fits more of what Belichick and company want to do. But I think the Mac Jones experiment is finally over. I would hope that they bench Jones in favor of Zappy, unless they're just going to go into full tank mode and just tank. Steelers over the Ravens, 17-10. Mind-blowing. Absolutely mind-blowing. George Pickens had a game, 130 yards and a touchdown on 6 receptions. You can't count out a Mike Tomlin-led team. They're both 3-2. Ravens have they've gotten off a little weird. It'll be interesting to see how they turn this around. I think whoever they play next is probably in for a good mouth smacking. Eagles over the Rams, 23-14. I know I picked the Rams. The Rams didn't really look competitive in the second half. It was close. I mean, there was a 3-point differential at half. It was 17-14, and it was that way through the third into the fourth. Couple of field goals sealed the deal. Eagles 5-0, off to a great start, trying to win their their Super Bowl finally. Bengals over the Cardinals, 34-20. Burrow looked good again, finally. 317 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 1 interception. Chase, crazy game. 15 receptions, 192 yards, 3 touchdowns. It's not quite DJ Moore level, 3 touchdowns, 230 yards, and only 8 receptions. But, good for Jamar. Good for Jamar. Just kidding. It was a great game. Jets over the Broncos, 31-21. Zach Wilson, he ain't it either. I think with that defense, though, I think the Jets are a prime candidate. I think they are the team that pulls the trigger to trade for Kirk Cousins. I don't know if Kirk Cousins makes them an instant contender, but let me just look up. I'm going to pull up the old standings here. The Dolphins are 4-1. Bills are 3-2. Jets are 2-3. So there's still so much room there for them to do something. I think Cousins on the Jets can turn them into a playoff team. I don't think that they're a Super Bowl contender because Cousins on the Vikings, definitely not. But with that defense, if you have a defense like the Jets have, if you have a competent enough offense, if you have a guy that's if you have a Kirk Cousins, I think that you're pretty safe there. And I don't think that the rest of the year schedule is super tough for the Jets. Let's look it up. Well, they do have the Eagles. Eagles, okay. That's an L. Let's be real. Giants, that's a dub. Chargers, I don't know. I don't know about the Chargers this year. They're weird. Raiders, it's a win. Bills, again, it's kind of a toss-up. Bills were just beat by the Jags. Dolphins again, another loss there. Falcons, I think they can win that. I think they can beat the Texans with Kirk Cousins. Dolphins, Commanders, Browns, Pats. They can finish off the season right there with 3 wins. Commanders, Browns, Patriots. I think there's a lot of work. I don't know if Cousins really puts them over the top, but we'll see. I don't remember the last time a quarterback was traded away mid-season. I'm going to look that up. Carson Palmer, I think, was the last big crazy name. Sam Bradford traded to Minnesota a week before the season opener. It's kind of the same thing, but and he went off. Let's see. There have been 3 quarterbacks who played at least 2 games in a given season and also threw for at least 2,000 yards that season. Bobby Lane in 58, Kerry Collins in 98, and Steve Walsh in 1990. So a quarterback of Kirk Cousins' caliber, which is that's a word. That's a phrase that hurts to come out. Let's see what his stats are. So Cousins, 67%, 1,498 yards, 13 touchdowns, 4 interceptions this year. They're definitely a better team with him. And I think that Garrett Wilson instantly becomes a must start in fantasy. The running game there, the offensive line is going to be better. I think he's going to be the one that gets traded, like the big name that gets traded. And then let's talk about the Vikings. They almost beat the Chiefs 27-20. Not bad. Mahomes didn't really have like that great of a game. Cousins 284 yards, 2 touchdowns. He was the leading passer in that game. Kelsey comes back from his big injury on the scary turf field in New York that the Swifties want to get rid of. Chiefs 4-1, rolling away with it. Vikings 1-4. You definitely see that this is a team looking towards the future. And then you've got the other 5-0 team, 49ers, just destroying the Cowboys, and it wasn't even close. 42-10. I gotta come out and say it, man. I can't poo-poo it anymore. Brock Purdy. I didn't want to be a Brock believer, but I think that he's the real deal, man. 252 yards, 4 touchdowns. They didn't have to work hard for this game. Kittle, 3 touchdowns, and also a $13,000 fine. He got fined $13,000 for pulling up the shirt and having a "fuck the Cowboys" on his undershirt. We all love to see that. Cowboys are now 3-2 and look to move on from that terrible loss. And then the Monday night game, I picked the Packers stupidly. I'm never going to do that again. Over the Raiders. Raiders 17, Packers 13. Jordan Love is trash. It's the week 1 they played against a unprepared, shitty Bears defense. Now that defense hasn't gotten much worse, but I think that if you let Jordan Love, you don't rush Jordan Love. Don't rush. 3, maybe 4. Rush the minimum. He's going to make the mistakes all on his own. He's really good when he's rolling out. And he doesn't have to, he's thinking about not getting killed. But the Raiders, one of the worst defenses, 3 interceptions. It's crazy. It was a shitty Monday night game. But we move past that. We move on. That's in the past. Week 6 coming up. Thursday night game last night. Hold on. Noah, I'm live. Go upstairs now. Go up. No. It's almost 10 o'clock. Go to bed. Go. Children. Chiefs over the Broncos 19-8. Chiefs 5-1. Okay. Again, they're rolling along, but they just, I don't know, something about that team just doesn't click for me right now. Kelsey, 9 receptions, 124 yards. He's back. He's fine. Let's get in to the picks for week 6. First game, Ravens, Titans. I'm gonna pull up here. Oh, Blake, yours are all over. So we got Blake and Keith both picking Ravens. I'm also gonna go Ravens. Like I said, I'm just not picking Titans at all the rest of the season. I think they're dog shit. The line, they're playing in London, so this is an early morning game. The line is Baltimore -4.5. Yeah, I mean, this is going to be Baltimore's game. I don't think there's not much for me to say about this one. This is going to be a quicker show, too. I'm running through this stuff kind of fast because I'm by myself and, just talking to the wind. So let's go back stateside. going to Mercedes-Benz Stadium. The Commanders going in, playing the Falcons. I think the Falcons are going to end up winning this one. I like them in this. The line is 2.5 to Atlanta. Let me see here. So I'm picking Atlanta. I'm picking the Falcons. And and Blake doesn't pick any of the teams. I don't think he even looked. Keith's going to pick the Falcons as well. Dolphins, Eagles, Bills. Yeah, so he didn't pick any team on this one. Okay. So he gets a big fast 0. Seahawks, Bengals. The line is 3 to Cincinnati. It's in Cincinnati. Seahawks 3-1. They're coming off a bye. I think that I don't know. I think the Bengals should win. Blake's picking Bengals. Keith's picking the Seahawks. I'm going to roll with the Bengals on this one. Burrow looks good. Chase looks good. I don't know. I could see the Seahawks winning this one though. And it's a close, it's a toss up for me. But yeah, I think the Bengals eke this one out. I think it's a close game. I think it's a good game. 49ers going to Cleveland. It's Niners. Come on. The Browns are not going to beat the Niners. Sorry about it. Not going to happen. And for the sake of it, Blake picks the Niners. Keith picks the Niners. So we're all on board there. No viewers right now. Just out there talking. Panthers, Dolphins. This line is even worse. It's -14 to Miami. Obviously, we're going to go Dolphins here. It's not much to talk about. Dolphins for Keith. Dolphins for Blake. I'm sure Danny and Rick are also picking the Dolphins as well. Now we get into the good game. This is the game I was wishing Rick would be here to talk about this. Anthony Richardson on IR. Gardner Minshew starting, going to Jacksonville, Florida to face the Jags. I think the Jags are going to win this 3-2. Only because Richardson's not playing. I think Moss is going to be far and away the best ball carrier they've gone up against, but I still think that the Jags are just way too talented. I think the Jags are more talented than 3-2, than their 3-2 record. I'm a big fan of them this year. Blake's upset of the week, though, is going to be Colts. Colts over Jags. The line is -4.5. I think Keith is picking the Jags as well. Yeah. You never know. This is Gardner Minshew going to his first home, where he really, honestly, where he belongs. He looks like a perfect Florida man. It's going to be a fun game to watch. Saints, Texans. Saints going into Texas. My upset of the week is going to be Texans over Saints. The line isn't super far. It's -2 to New Orleans, but they're still the favorite. CJ Stroud already at 1,400 yards and 7 touchdowns. I think it's going to be a fun game to watch if you can watch it. Let's see here. Keith's also got the Texans, and Blake's got the Texans. So I guess it's less of an upset for me, but this is going to be my upset. So And then the final noon game, Minnesota Vikings coming into my Chicago Bears home field of Soldier Field. The Bears are 0-2 at home. That ends. I guess this could be my upset pick here because the Vikings are technically 3-point favorites. I think that Justin Fields has a day. I think we see him take that step forward. I think that he ends up quieting people. This is the most important game of the season for the Bears, though. Okay? You've looked good against the Broncos. You lost. That was your defense letting you down. All right? Then you come out and you walk all over the Commanders, who are not a slouch of a team. Okay? 10 days off. We've seen them come into the season unprepared. We've seen them come out of halves unprepared. And, the 10 days is a long time. It's not a bye either. It's, a mini bye. I'm worried about the coaching staff changing their philosophy with Jefferson being out. He's on IR. Eberflus kind of said something, we can run a little more basic on defense, which I think is a mistake because I think they still have some talent on that offense. I don't think they have any running back talent, which I wouldn't start any Vikings running back anyways, but especially against the Bears, who are fairly okay against the run. Looks like the Bears will have some help coming back, though. I'm going to pull up our injury report. Okay, so Equanimous St. Brown, injured reserve. Khalil Herbert, injured reserve. Sounds like Kyler Gordon might be back. Eddie Jackson is now questionable. Roshan Johnson is out. Doug Kramer might be back, our center. I'm excited about him. I think that, if you give him some time and he, can overcome his constant injuries, I think he could be a serviceable center. He did well in Illinois out of college. So, let me look up Bears injury report. There we go. All right, so we've got Kyler Gordon logged a full practice on Friday. He's in. Horner out. Eddie Jackson is questionable. He had limited practices all week, coming back from a foot injury. Cole Kmet logged a full practice on Friday. He's in. Doug Kramer, 3 full practices, a full week of full practice. He's in. Jalen Johnson, 2 full practices this week. He's back. So you've got, 2 of your best, DBs coming back. So we'll see. Let's see here. Let's see. Lucas Patrick, full practice on Friday. He's officially questionable. Eddie I already said that he had limited practices all week. He's questionable. Rashawn, he's out with a concussion. And then Terrell Smith, ankle/illness. He had a limited practice on Wednesday, a full practice on Thursday, and then did not practice on Friday. So I'm wondering if it's like a COVID thing or not. Jordan Addison logged a full practice on Friday for the Vikings. He's in. Davenport, full practice Thursday and Friday. He's back. Evans, their cornerback, coming back from a knee injury. Full practice. He's in. Lewis Seen, safety. Full week, coming off a hamstring. Full week of full practices. He's back. And then Kene Nwangu, running back, questionable. Full practices all week on him, but that is the injury report for that game. I don't do that for everyone. I do it for the Bears because I'm a Bears fan and nobody's watching or listening or here to say any different. So I can just do what I want. Let's move into the afternoon games. Oh, by the way, let's go in real quick first, actually. I'm picking the Bears. I guess that's my upset of the week. Whatever. That's Keith's upset too. And Blake's picking the Bears. We're all riding with the Bears over the Vikings. Actually, I'm going to stick with my upset being... You know what? Fuck it. I'm going to go my upset is the Seahawks over the Bengals. That's my upset. I just have a feeling about them. I think the Seahawks can win that. I'm wrong a lot, though. So, Patriots, Raiders. Woof, for one. This is my upset. Okay, I'm coming back around. This is my upset. I'm picking Patriots over the Raiders. Bill Belichick going up against his former pupil. I think the Raiders are trash, even though they beat the Pack. But I don't know. Let's see. Keith picks Raiders. Blake picks Raiders. We're all rolling Raiders. They're all rolling Raiders. I'm picking the Patriots. Patriots are going to win this one. That's my upset. I'm still going to pick the Seahawks over the Bengals, by the way. Keith, if you watch back on this. Eagles, Jets. Eagles, come on. Everybody pick the Eagles. We know that. We've got Lions going down to Tampa. The line is Lions -3. I'm taking that. I think the Lions are going to run all over the Bucks. I think it's going to be a good game, though. I think that's going to be a fun game to watch. I'm picking Lions there. Blake got Lions, and Keith has Lions. And then our Sunday night game, the Bills and the Giants. Orchard Park, New York. The New York, New Jersey football Giants go to the New York Buffalo Bills. The line on this one is -15 Buffalo. So I don't think we really need to discuss it further. And then the Monday night game. Cowboys, Chargers. Cowboys licking their wounds. Coming back. The line is -2 to the Cowboys in SoFi. Keith's going to pick the Chargers. Blake's going to pick somebody. He didn't pick this one either. What a slouch. I think Blake's going to pick the Cowboys here. I'm just going to put them out there. Blake and Rick are both picking the Cowboys. I think the Chargers put it together, and I think they win this one at home. Over-under on this one is 51. So they're expecting a big scoring game. I would probably take the under on that, but I don't know much about betting. So that is our NFL picks for the week. My NFL picks for the week here by my lonesome. So looks like Watson's out, Jones is out, Gibbs is out. Amon-Ra St. Brown is coming back for the Lions. Khalil Herbert, we already said that. He's out on IR. 6 Panthers out versus Miami. I don't think it mattered. And that is football. Connor Bedard came in like a pro. First couple of games under his belt. Let's see. We got hockey night. We got Penguins over the Capitals 4-0. The big story coming out of hockey the night before, or no, I think it was the opening night. Barry Melrose, legend, retiring from broadcasting after a diagnosis of Parkinson's disease, which is just sad. Very sad. Bedard, first goal in his second game. Great. Love to see it. What am I looking at here? It's early. Everybody's played 2 games at most. 1 to 2 games. So we've got hockey is coming. Hockey is coming. Bedard's season is coming. And then basketball also right around the corner. We don't really talk much basketball. We don't talk much hockey. Unless basketball did start. I don't know. See, that's why we don't even talk basketball. I don't know. It's preseason. It's the preseason opener. Golden State at Los Angeles. Okay. The season starts on the what? Tuesday the 24th is the opening of the NBA season. So looking forward to that, I guess. I'm not really. And that's the sports. Colorado's currently beating Stanford 14-0 at the end of the first. First overall pick for basketball, by the way, Victor Wembanyama is like all he was advertised for and more. That's a guy to watch. If you're gonna go for some basketball this year, watch some Spurs games. Dude's legit. Anyways, little lower energy show tonight. All by my lonesome. That is the show. That is the sports. And I'm going to make sure I click loop this time. If you were watching, thanks for watching. We'll be back next week, hopefully with a full crew. Maybe not. I don't know. We'll see. They told me last minute. Except for Keith. Keith had an excuse. But we'll see you next week. Enjoy the sports. Hopefully your team wins. Good night.